RRB-JE Electronics and Allied Engineering April 2025 CBT Stage 2 Shift 1 Question Paper Solutions Part 1 General Ability Section from question number 1 to question number 50. First question. If the absolute refractive index of medium is less than 1, it is dash. We know that refractive index of medium eta is equal to speed of light in vacuum to the speed of light in the medium. Eta is written as c by b, 3 into 10 power 8 by velocity of light in the medium. In the question, it has been given if eta is less than 1. So eta can be written as c by v. So that is c by v is less than 1. C less than v. V greater than c. So that means light in the medium travels faster than in vacuum. So correct answer is option 2. If refractive index of medium is less than 1, the light travels faster in that medium than vacuum. So here different materials and their corresponding refractive index is given. For vacuum, refractive index is 1. For air it is 1.000277. For ice 1.31. For diamond 2. Next question. Which article provides ministers the right to participate in parliamentary proceedings but without voting rights? So correct answer is option 4. The Article 88, Ministers and Attorney General of India have right to speak and participate in the proceedings of parliamentary, including both houses and joint sittings or any of the parliamentary committees, but without voting rights. The other options are Article 78. Article 78, the duties of Prime Minister as respects the furnishing of information to the President. Article 53, the executive power of Union. Article 77, conduct of business of Government of India. Correct answer is option 4. Next question. In an electric circuit, what is the correct way to connect an ammeter? So ammeter is used to measure the current and it is always connected in series. Ammeter is used to measure the current. It is always connected in series with the component. Correct answer is option 3. Similarly, voltmeter is used to measure the voltage. AC voltmeter for AC voltage measurement, DC voltmeter for DC voltage measurement. It is always connected in parallel with the component in the circuit. Question number 4. Which of the following are not toxic, to non-target organisms? Let us see the difference between target organism and non-target organisms. So target organisms are the specific pests or weeds that agricultural treatments like pesticides or genetically modified crops are designed to kill and control. A specific pest, weed, fungus that a product is intended to control is target organism. Non-target organisms. These non-target organisms are any other living things in soil or surrounding environment such as beneficial insects, soil microbes, other plants and pollinators that are not the intended target of the treatment. Any organism that is not intended target of the pesticides, herbicides or genetically modified crop is non-target organisms. So from the given options, pesticides, herbicides, and fungus are toxic to target organisms. These are toxic to target organisms. Only the organic fertilizers are not toxic to the non-target organisms. Correct answer option 4. See here, organic fertilizers enrich the soil with nutrients, promotes microbial activity, improves soil structure, and enhance fertility. So these are safe for non-target organisms that supports sustainable agriculture. So the pesticides kill insects and rodents, herbicides, eliminate unwanted plants or weeds, fungicides, control fungal diseases in crops. So these pesticides, herbicides, fungicides are toxic to non-target organisms. Question number 5. The phenomenon of multiple echoes due to repeated reflections is called reverberation. So let us see the difference between echo and reverberation. In echo, the reflected sound is heard as a sound distinct from the original sound. In reverberation, the sound persists for some time duration. The definition of reverberation is the persistence of sound in a space after original sound source has stopped, caused by the multiple reflections from surface of walls, ceilings and floors. That is, the persistence of sound due to multiple reflections is reverberation. So this is reverberation. This image as well as this image shows reverberation. Persistence of sound due to multiple echoes. Next is, let us see other options. Refraction. Refraction is bending of wave as it passes from one medium to other medium. Bending of wave when it passes from one medium to other medium, that is refraction. Diffraction, the around the bending of wave around the edges of obstacle is diffraction. So let us see the image. This refers to diffraction. So bending of wave around the edges of obstacle is diffraction. Reflection. This reflection occurs when a wave hits the surface and returns back to the original medium. Wave hits the surface and it returns back to the original medium. Reflection. Resonance. Resonance is when an object vibrates with higher amplitudes because its natural frequency matches the frequency of external source. Scattering. It is a process where the waves are deflected in various directions after hitting an obstacle or inhomogeneity in the medium they are traveling through. This is scattering. This image represents scattering. Absorption is wave is completely absorbed by the surface. Next is transmission. The wave transmitted from one medium to other medium without any change in the direction. So here the correct answer is reverberation. Next question. Who among the following inaugurates 38 national games held on Dehradun in January 2025? So correct answer is option 2. Question number 7. What is the India's global military ranking in 2025 Global Firepower GFP Index? The Global Firepower Index is an annual assessment that ranks the military strength of nations based on over 60 factors, including manpower, equipment, financial resources, and logistics. In 2025, the top three countries are United States, Russia, China, with India ranking 4th. Correct answer is option 4. Question number 8. Which of the following is a characteristic difference between colloids and true solution? So colloids and true solution. Let us see the differences. True solution is a homogeneous mixture and it is transparent, whereas colloidal solution is heterogeneous mixture and it is transcollant. Suspension is heterogeneous mixture and it is opaque. That is, true solution is single phase system, whereas colloidal systems are two phase systems. Option 1 is correct. In true solutions, the particle size is greater than 1 nanometer and the true solution is stable. These true solutions The settling of particles doesn't take place. It is transparent, does not show Tyndall effect, diffuse rapidly, which is a homogeneous in nature, which are homogeneous in nature, and filtration is impossible. A true solution is a single phase system, while colloidal solution is a two phase system. True solutions are homogeneous mixture where solute particles are completely dissolved, forming a uniform phase. True solution is a homogeneous mixture with consistent properties. Filtration cannot separate the solute from the solution in a true solution, whereas colloids are heterogeneous mixture with a dispersed phase and dispersion medium, meaning with two different phases. So example for true solution is sugar solution in water. Example for colloidal solution is starch dissolved in the water. A true solution is homogeneous mixture of two or more substances in which particle size of a material dissolved in the solvent is less than 1 nanometer, whereas colloid is a mixture in which one material is suspended in another microscopically scattered insoluble particles. So correct answer option 1. What is the net force acting on object if balanced forces are applied? Balanced forces are applied. When all forces on an object are balanced, when all forces acting on an object are balanced, the net force is zero. This is because balanced forces are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, causing them to cancel each other. As a result, the object will not change its state of motion and will remain in the rest or continue moving with a constant velocity. Correct answer option 3. Question number 10. PCB stands for. So PCB stands for printed circuit board. A PCB or printed circuit board is a rigid or flexible board with conductive pathways etched from copper that mechanically supports and electronically connects electronic components. These components are resistors, transistors, and integrated circuits are mounted on the board, and conductive traces route electrical current between the electronic components integrated on the PCB. This PCB, also called PWB, printed wiring board, is a laminated sandwich structure of conductive and insulating layers, each with a pattern of traces, planes, and other etched from one or more sheet one or more sheet layers of copper laminated onto or between sheets of layers of a non-conductive substrate. Question number 11. What is a shortcut key to start a slideshow from the beginning? That is F5. So F5, start the slideshow from the beginning. So shift F5 is start the slideshow from the current slide. From the current slide. ESC is end the slideshow. So correct answer option 1. Next question. Which of the following is the correct way to insert a new column in spreadsheet? In spreadsheet applications like Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets, proper method to insert new column is go to Home tab, click Insert Sheet column. Go to Home, Insert Sheet column. Option 1 is correct. Next question. Which state of matter shows highest expansion when temperature is increased? When temperature is increased, solids expand least, liquids expand more than solids, Gases expand most because the particles are far apart and move freely, whereas plasma is a high energy ionized gas. The order of expansion is solids less than liquids less than gas. Plasma is highly energized gas. Particles move extremely fast. Here the relevant answer is gases. Next question. What is the purpose of collation option in print settings? So the collation option in print settings is used when printing multiple copies of a multi-page document. It determines the order in which pages are printed. When collation is enabled, printer prints complete set of document, that is 1 2 3 1 2 3. One complete set of document is printed in multiple copies. When collation is disabled, the printer print all copies of each page together. So here the collation option in print setting organizes multiple copies of a multi-page document into complete, separate sets instead of grouping all copies of same page together. When enabled, each copy is printed sequentially before next one begins, which is useful for distributing documents like reports and packets. When disabled, pages are grouped by page numbers and collated. So correct answer option 1, to print all pages of a document as a set. Question number 15. What is the main objective of extremists during Indian national movement? The extremists wanted complete independence from British rule. Examples are Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. To obtain complete independence, that is Swaraj. Extremists were completely against British rule and wanted complete independence. The moderates, on the other hand, wanted self rule and greater autonomy and accepted normal British rules. Extremists aimed at preparing the masses for the struggle to gain Swaraj by educating them, uniting them, and instilling in them a sense of self respect, self reliance, and a pride in their ancient heritage. Extremist leaders firmly believed that British had no interest of Indian people in mind. It was evident from the lackluster response from the authorities during the plague or famine. Extremists found their support bases among the educated middle class and lower classes. Extremists often use extra constitutional methods, often during their activities. Extremists were radical in terms of their approach. Correct answer option 3. Next question. The practice of jhum cultivation is prevalent in dash northeast. Jhum cultivation is traditional form of shifting cultivation or slash and burn agriculture practiced mainly in tribal communities in the hilly regions of northeast India. It involves clearing a plot of forest land by cutting and burning vegetation, cultivating it for few years, and then abandoning it to allow it to naturally regenerate while moving to a new plot. Next question. What happens when a computer is put into the sleep mode? When a computer goes to sleep mode, it enters a low power state while saving current session, including open applications, documents into the RAM. This allows user to quickly resume where users left off by simply waking the computer up as opposed to full shutdown. To conserve power, most hardware is turned off and the monitor is shut down, with the RAM being the only part that requires a small amount of energy to retain the data. So when computer enters into the sleep mode, it keeps the session active in RAM while using minimal power. Similarly, when a computer hibernates, it saves the current contents of its RAM to the hard drive and then completely powers down using zero power. That is for hibernation. Correct answer is option 4. Question number 18. According to the Tendulkar methodology, what was the estimated percentage of people below the poverty line in rural areas in 2011 and 2012? According to the Planning Commission of India, based on Tendulkar Committee methodology 2011-2012 data, rural poverty is 25.7%, urban poverty is 13.7%, overall poverty combined is 21.9%. Here the correct answer is option 1. The maximum sound is generated from the following options. So house chimneys can generate 10 to 20 dB. Takeoff of a jet plane is 130 to 150 dB. Vehicular emissions is 70 to 90 dB. Industrial machinery 80 to 100 dB. So the maximum sound from the given options is by the takeoff of a jet plane. Option 2. Question number 20. The Industrial Policy Resolution of 1956 categorized industries into how many groups? The Industrial Policy Resolution of 1956 categorized industries into three groups, that is Schedule A, B, and C. Industries in Schedule A were exclusive responsibility of the state, whereas in Schedule B included industries where the state could would take a dominant role alongside private enterprises, and all remaining industries were placed in the Schedule C and were largely left to the private sector. So it is categorized into three groups. Correct answer option 1. Question number 21. Which of the following states is not covered under Atal Bhujal Yojana? The Atal Bhujal Yojana is being implemented in 85,062 gram panchayats of 80 districts in 7 states, namely Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, and Uttar Pradesh, with an aim to improve community led sustainable groundwater management mainly through coverage among various ongoing central and state schemes. It also aims to bring about the behavioral change at the community level through awareness programs and capacity building for fostering sustainable groundwater management. So, the state not covered is Jharkhand. Remaining these three states are covered in Atal Bhujal Yojana. Question number 22. The Rudraveena is predominantly associated with which genre of Hindustani music? Rudraveena is predominantly associated with Drupad genre of Hindustani classical music. It is an ancient string instrument known for its deep, rich sound, which is considered ideal for meditative, meditative and spiritual nature of Drupad music. Correct answer 4. Question number 23. In which of the following regions the Himalayas has greatest width? The Kashmir region of Himalayas has greatest width measuring approximately 400 kilometers across. This extensive width is due to the presence of multiple parallel mountain ranges such as Great Himalayas, Pir Panjal and Jaskar Range. Here, the image depicts longitudinal division of Himalayas from west to east, where range of the width of Himalayas is maximum in Kashmir. That is option 4. Question number 24. Which of the following correctly explains why clouds dry faster on windy day? When clouds dry, evaporation takes place. On windy day, moving air removes the humid or moist air around the clouds and replaces it with the dry air. This increases the rate of evaporation, causing clouds to dry faster. Hence, winds help drying by removing the water vapor from the surroundings. So correct answer is wind removes the water vapor from the cloth surroundings. Option 3. Question number 25. Identify the correct formula for compound formed with Mg plus 2 and PO4 3 minus ions. To form a neutral compound, total positive and negative charges must balance. The magnesium ion Mg having charge plus 2 and phosphate ion having charge minus 3. To balance these charges, 3 Mg plus 2 gives plus 6 charge, 2 PO4 3 minus gives minus 6 charge. So it is Mg3 PO4 2 magnesium phosphate. Correct answer is option 2. Question number 26. Inertia depends on which property of the object? The law of inertia, also known as Newton's first law of motion, states that an object will continue to be in the state of rest or in the state of motion unless an external force acts on it. The greater the mass, the greater the inertia, meaning heavier objects are harder to stop or harder to start. Inertia does not depend on object speed, shape, or momentum. Inertia is a measure of object resistance to change in its motion, and its magnitude is determined mainly by the object mass. Inertia depends on mass of an object. Correct answer option 1. Question number 27. If you want the primary recipient to see that others have received a copy of an email, you should enter their email address in the dash field. An email consists of four things, that is 2. 2 is for the main recipient, carbon copy, CC is for those who need to be informed and can see each other addresses, or CC allows user to send a copy of an email to additional recipient and everyone who can see else received it. BCC blind carbon copy is for recipients whose address remain hidden from all other recipients. Subject. Subject is a line that briefly describes the email contents or title of the email. So the correct answer is CC. Next question. Which defect of vision occurs due to weakening of ciliary muscles with age? Presbyopia is an age-related vision defect that occurs because of ciliary muscle weaken and the lens loses elasticity, reducing the eye's ability to focus on nearby object. It usually appears after the age of 40. It is corrected using bifocal and progressive lenses. Correct answer is presbyopia. Let us see other options. Astigmatism. It is caused by irregular curvature of cornea. Hypermetropia or farsightedness caused by a shorter eyeball or less curved lenses. Myopia, nearsightedness caused by longer eyeball or more curved lenses. Question number 29. What is the primary purpose of using firewall on a personal computer? The main purpose of firewall is to protect a network by acting as a barrier that monitors and controls the incoming and outgoing traffic based on security rules. It prevents unauthorized access and malicious activity such as cyber attacks, viruses, and malware from entering a trusted network. Essentially, it acts as a security guard, allowing legitimate data to pass while blocking the potentially harmful content. So, this firewall allows legitimate data to enter, blocking the potentially harmful content. Correct answer option D, to block unauthorized access and protects the computer. Next question. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar described which part of Indian Constitution as its novel features, while Granville Austin referred to it as conscience of the Constitution. Correct answer, Directive Principles of State Policy. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar called the Directive Principles of State Policy, Part 4, Article 36 to 51, as the novel features of Indian Constitution because they aim to ensure social and economic democracy. Granville Austin, a constitutional expert, described directive principles of state policy as conscience of constitution since they embody the ideals of justice, equality and welfare for all citizens. So correct answer option 1. Remaining options are fundamental duties added later by 42nd Amendment from 1976, fundamental rights protect individual liberty, preamble declares the objectives of constitution but not described using terms mentioned in the question, that is novel features and conscience of the constitution. Question 31. What happens when acid reacts with the metal oxide? Metal oxides are basic in nature. When acids react with the metal oxides, neutralization reaction takes place. Acid reacts with the basic metal oxide to form salt and water. Acid plus metal oxide resultant is salt and water. So correct answer option 3. Next question. Why does a bee sting cause pain and irritation? Bee sting injects methanoic acid, formic acid into the skin. Methanoic acid HCOOH is primary acid in bee venom responsible for immediate burning sensation. This acid causes burning sensation, pain and irritation due to its acidic in nature. The area becomes red and swollen as body reacts to the acid. The pain from the bee sting can be relieved by applying mild base such as baking soda, which neutralizes the acid. Correct answer is the sting injects methanic acid. Next question. The glass panel used in greenhouse gases is known to retain heat. Glass panels in greenhouses retain heat helps helping plants grow in controlled warm conditions. Plants to grow in the controlled warm conditions. Option 1 is the correct answer. Question number 34. Which of the following companies announced plans in February 2025 to construct the world's longest undersea cable aiming to enhance internet connectivity across 5 continents with landing points in India? In February 2025, Meta announced Project Waterworth, a multi-billion-dollar initiative to build the world's longest subsea cable spanning over 50,000 kilometers. The cable will connect 5 continents with key landing points planned in India, US, Brazil, and South Africa. Meta confirms Project Waterworth, a global subsea cable project spanning 50,000 kilometers. Correct answer is Meta. 35. Which official in Gupta administration was responsible for peace and war matters? Sandhi Vigrahika was a minister of peace and war in Gupta administration. The term Sandhi means peace or treaty, and Vigraha means war or conflict. This official was responsible for handling foreign affairs, negotiation, alliances, and diplomatic relations. Mahadandanayaka is Chief of Justice or Head of Judiciary in Gupta administration. Mahadandanayaka is Chief of Justice or Head of Judiciary. Vishyapati, Head of the District. Mahapratihara, Chief of Palace Guards or Superintendent of Royal Household. Correct answer is 1. Sandhi Vigrahika. Which of the following is not component in CPU? Not a component of central processing unit of computer. So CPU consists of arithmetic logic unit, control unit, cache memory, register memory, but not hard disk. Correct answer is option 4. So CPU contains arithmetic logic unit, control unit, memory unit, that is L1 cache memory and register memory. It doesn't contains hard disk. Question number 37. The Millennium Development Goals aim to reduce extreme poverty by which year? So correct answer is 2015. MDGs aim to reduce extreme poverty by half by the year 2015. These goals set by the United Nations in the year 2000 provided a framework for achieving this by addressing poverty and hunger, promoting gender equality, reducing child mortality, and ensuring environmental sustainability, among other objectives. Question 38. The fine powder that is obtained from the modified and recycled form of plastic is called polyblend. Is a fine powder made from recycled plastic waste. It was developed by Rajagopalan Vasudevan, known as Plastic Man of India, who in 2002 invented a way to turn discarded plastic into durable roads, a technique used across thousands of kilometers in India. This material is used to make roads stronger and more durable by mixing it with a bitumen. Correct answer is polyblend. Question 39. Which among the following correctly represents the chemical formula of a compound formed by aluminum and sulfate ions? For aluminum, charge is plus 3, sulfate ion charge is minus 2. To balance the charges, 2Al3 plus 3SO4 2 minus. That is Al2SO4 3. Correct answer is 3. Option 3. Al2SO4 3. Next question. Which of the following cities hosted the inaugural Coco World Cup in January 2025? Coco World Cup was held at Indira Gandhi Arena in New Delhi, India from 13th January to 19th January 2025. The tournament was organized by Coco Federation of India. Correct answer New Delhi. Question number 41. The primary agent that helps in the decomposition of biodegradable matter in domestic sewages. In domestic sewage, bacteria are the primary agents that break down biodegradable matter with both aerobic and anaerobic oxygen dependent on oxygen free bacteria. Bacteria, along with fungi and other microorganisms, continue to decompose the organic waste, often in the presence of oxygen, it is aerobic process, or without oxygen, anaerobic process. Correct answer is bacterium. Next question. Which of the following is not a source of release of smokestacks? Smokestacks are tall vertical pipes that exhaust flue gases from industrial process and power plants into the atmosphere. They are designed to be tall to disappear pollutants over a wider area, which helps to reduce their concentration and impact on air quality. Flue gases contain pollutants like nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, carbon dioxide, and particulate matter, which can be harmful to the health and the environment. So, correct answer here is reverse. Smelter plant is a facility where metal is extracted from its ore by heating it to a high temperature. This process is known as smelting, which involves melting the ore to separate the valuable metal from impurities like slag using chemical reducing agent. Smelters use smokestacks to exert hot gases and pollutants from their furnaces into the atmosphere. Next question. What is the primary function of F4 key in MS Excel when editing a cell reference in the formula? So this F4 key, F4 cycles through all various combinations of absolute and relative references. So toggles between absolute and relative references. So similarly, F6, F7, F8 functions are represent mentioned here. F10, F11, F12. Next question. What is the maximum number of ministers allowed in the Council of Ministers, including Prime Minister, as per 91st Amendment Act? The total number of ministers in the Council of Ministers, including Prime Minister, cannot exceed 15% of the total strength of Lok Sabha. Correct answer option 3. Question number 45. The energy that is derived from the use of radioactive isotopes is termed as. So nuclear energy, the remaining options are incorrect because thermal energy, solar energy and geothermal energy are not obtained from radioactive isotopes. Nuclear energy is the energy released from the nucleus of atom, often through radioactive decays, fission or fusion. This thermal energy or heat energy, it is related to the temperature of a substance. Solar energy is obtained from the sunlight, energy obtained from the sunlight. Geothermal energy is energy derived from the heat stored within the Earth's interior. Correct answer option 1. Next question. Which of the following cannot be considered as measure to control global warming? So causes of global warming are burning of fossil fuel, deforestation, industrial emissions, increased use of refrigerants and transportation. Cannot be considered as a measure. So that is causing deforestation. So reduction of emission in greenhouse gases, cutting down use of fossil fuels, efficiently using energy. These are the measures to control global warming? Correct answer is 1. Next question. If an object is dropped from the rest, what will be the velocity after 15 seconds? So we know that final velocity v is equal to u plus gt, where u is the initial velocity, g is acceleration due to gravity 9.8 meters per second, and t is time duration in seconds. Given the initial velocity is 0 because the object is in dropped from the rest. Here initial velocity u is 0. What will be the velocity after 15 seconds? Time period is 15 seconds. The acceleration due to gravity small g is 9.8 meters per second square. So on calculation, u is equal to 0 plus 9.8 into 15, that is 147 meters per second. After 15 seconds, the velocity of object is 147 meters per second. Next question. The main use of chlorofluorocarbons is in refrigerants. These chlorofluorocarbons are widely used as refrigerants in air conditioners and refrigerators, as propellants in aerosol products, and as a foam blowing agents for insulation and packaging. Correct answer 1. Question number 49. What is the first step to securing one's smartphone or tablet? To secure smartphone, use strong authentication and a password or biometric. Keep the operating systems and apps updated. Download apps only from the trusted sources like official app stores. Be cautious on public Wi-Fi by using a virtual private network. Disable Bluetooth when not in use. Regularly backup data and enable remote log and erase features for lost or stolen devices. These are the various ways to secure the smartphone. And the first and primary thing is setting a password pin or pin protected lock screen. Question number 50. What is the approximate pH of neutral salt solution? For neutral salts, pH is 7. A pH of 7 is considered neutral. Example is sodium chloride, potassium nitrate. Acidic salts have pH less than 7. These are formed from a strong acid and weak base. Basic salts have pH greater than 7. These are formed from a strong base and weak acid. So correct answer is option 3. For neutral salt solution, pH is equal to 7.